So just like yesterday, we have our, what we would call our pre-image, our line before we transform it. And we're going to write our description, just like we did yesterday, and then we're going to write our equation. All right, so let's go ahead and do that first. So here's the translation, or the transformation that we're going to do. We're going to take f of x, and then we're going to add 3 to it. So what transformation is that? Translated up 3. Okay, so we're going to write that description down. And then if you'll remember, to find g of x, we just substitute f of x, which is this right here. We're going to substitute this whole equation, that 2x plus 1, in for f of x. So I'm going to have g of x equals f of x, which is 2x plus 1, and then we're going to add 3 to that. Now, if there's nothing in front of the parentheses that you have to distribute, then we can just drop them and just add our like terms. So 2x plus 4 is our answer. Now, that's exactly what you did yesterday. The only thing that we're going to do different today is we're going to graph them. Okay? All right, so let's go back to graphing. How do we graph? Where do we put our first point? The y-intercept. So we're going to graph the first one. We're going to graph the first one, and then we're going to graph the second one and make it dotted. Okay? So we're going to graph 2x plus 1. So where do we start at? We start at positive 1 on the y-axis. So put a dot on positive 1. And then the slope is 2. So that means we go up 2 over 1. So from this point right here, go up 2 to the right 1, put a dot. Up 2 to the right 1, put a dot. Up 2 to the right 1. What's the opposite of going up and to the right? Down and to the left. So we can go down and to the left, down to the left 1, down to till we get our line. Now we're going to make this line a solid line. Now, when you translate up 3, all of these points are going to move up 3. But you can also just graph your new equation. So what is our y-intercept here? We're going to start at 4. Okay? So I'm going to go up to 4, and I'm going to put my dot, my first point, and then we're going to rise 2, run 1. Rise 2, run 1. Okay? And we can go the other way, down 2, backwards 1. You don't have to cover the whole graph. You just need enough points so that you can draw your line. And we're going to make this one dotted or dashed. And we've done this before. Okay? So this is what it would look like on the graph if we translated this line up 4 units. Okay? Now you can also see that it shifted over horizontally to the left, but when you translate this linear function up or down, it's also going to translate it horizontally. Okay, but all we had to do is according to the rule. All right, let's look at B. We're going to take this same equation that we started with, and this time we're going to shift it to the left 3 units. So how am I going to write that rule? So we're going to have t of x equals, if we're shifting to the left 3 units, where's that go? Inside. So it's going to go inside here. Now, it's not going to go in front of the x because it's not a stretch or compression. Remember, if it's shifting up or down or left or right, that's a translation, and we add and subtract translations. So this is going to be f, oops, don't put that parenthesis, sorry, f of x, and then what's it going to be, plus or minus 3? Plus, because it lies. Okay? All right. So now our new x is x plus 3. So we're going to substitute this in place of that x. Okay, so t of x is equal to, I'm just going to write my original function, and I'm going to leave a space where x is. So it looks like 2x plus 1, which is what I have right here. But what's going to go in the parentheses is what's in the parentheses here, which is x plus 3. And then we just have to distribute first. Okay, so 2 times x and 2 times 3 gives me what? 2x plus 6, and then we just have to add 1. So that's 2x plus 7. Now, we're going to do the same thing we did with this one. Okay, we're going to graph the original one, which was started at 1 and then went up 2 over 1. And like I said, you don't have to do every point, just enough that you can make your line. And then we're going to make our translated line, we're going to make that dotted or dashed. So where does this one start at? Positive 7, which is right here. And we're going to go up 2 over 1. Same thing, up 2 over 1. And I run out of room, so I'm going to go the other direction, down 2 to the left 1. And again, I don't need to do all the points, and I'm just going to make it dashed. Now, what happened was this graph moved to the left 3. But what else did it do? It also moved up how many? It went up 6. And I can tell that from my y-intercept. It went from a 1 to a 7. So it also translated up 6. Okay? So anytime we shift it left or right or up or down, it's going to translate the other way also. So if we translate it up or down, it's also going to translate left or right. Okay.